You are live. Here we are, the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Here we go again. How are we doing?
All right, I think. I don't really know what planet I'm on. So, half term, sick children, sleepless nights. Yeah, but we're
Busy
here.
diaries.
Yes, we're here. We are live. We are ready to go. And anything could happen.
This is the thing. It's been. Do you know what? I can't believe it's Thursday already.
I,
It feels like it's like 2 minutes since we just finished doing this last week.
and that's
But
what's confusing me because I'm like, it's not fair. It can't be.
it can't be Thursday. But there we go.
Can't be.
So, do you know what? It's been a bit of a funny week because obviously Monday we had a day together. We were
did.
meeting up for like a quick coffee, and then I just basically didn't leave you, and you're like, you need to go now, Christina.
Need to go, Christina. The news at 10 starts in a minute. No, I'm joking. No, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
It was really good, and obviously we had a conversation about sort of like how we could use AI on behalf of clients without them losing out on the service that they're expecting from us. And I think this is a big thing right now. I think a lot of people are thinking, well, I don't need to outsource social media because I'll just use AI to do it. But actually, it's not about using AI to write posts. It's about actually bringing intelligence together from different places, saying this is the viewpoint I want to pitch, and give me some ways to do that. Or here's a news article. How does this news potentially affect my industry, my sector? And pulling bits out of that, writing it in the client's voice. So it helps speed up our research around something rather than and sort of verify ideas that we've got rather than doing the job for us. And it's funny, obviously we were at Expo a few weeks ago, and there were actually quite a few people coming to the stand saying, I'm using someone already to manage my social media, but I can see they're just writing it all on AI, and I don't think that's right. And I'm like, no, it isn't right. And some of the stuff like AI is a tool to make us more efficient. It's not a tool to do the job for us.
And we've said it a million times before. You can spot an AI post from a mile off.
Oh, do you know? And
it makes me like, somebody's just sent me something today, and a local business has put, oh, we're going to do this, and it's like they're using words that just no normal human being would work, like they wouldn't use. And it's just, for me, it's a massive turn off straight away, because I just go, so I'm not even reading the rest of it because it's pointless, because it's not you. There's no originality. Doesn't tell me anything about you or your business. It just tells me that actually, you need to be on social media. You can't really be asked. I'll throw that out. Job done. No.
Absolutely.
Sorry, get a bit of a bee in my bonnet about this stuff.
But it's like it's the format of the language, the structure of the post. There's certain words, certain phrases that you see them now, and you just know they're AI.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And in Americanisms, I'm seeing that a lot. It's like you look at something, you're like, you would never,
you wouldn't talk like that.
So it's interesting. Anyway, that was an unplanned rant about AI. What else have you been up to this week? So yesterday, well, I'm still in Essex.
Yeah.
So yesterday I was where was I? Stansted. So hanging out with the amazing Gary Das, and he's got a mastermind, and he was doing a whole day with his group on content creation and content planning. So I went and spent the day with them, shared some little stories.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Leads to lifestyle.
Yeah, and so that was really good fun, because they're all within the financial world, mortgage brokers, that kind of thing. And he has a program that helps them essentially grow their business, increase their lead generation, and obviously, social media is a fantastic way to do that. So it's really interesting doing that. Like, obviously, recruitment is our world. We do so much around that, but we do work in other sectors as well. And anything that's related to the financial industry, there's an element of compliance that has to be met for legally because of the way products are sold and that kind of thing. So needing to have a strong social media presence, a strong personal brand, whilst also having to deal with these compliance issues can be quite a big block for people. But when they understand the need to have that balance in your content between the stuff that is the personal stuff, the stuff that makes you human, alongside the actual selling of the product, it's like compliance is there, but we don't need compliance for the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that not every post needs to be a call to action to start, you know, have a conversation on the phone or an email or, you know, go and access this thing. It's the fact that, you know, some of your social media posts are about driving engagement so that you can increase that awareness, get people interested in you as a person so that they then become interested in what you do and what you have to sell. So yeah, some really interesting conversations and ideas around content. So I was in my element.
It looked like you had fun.
Yeah, I mean, we did a Q&A at the end of the day, and there were lots of questions around video. So like how to get out your own way on video, how to structure your videos in terms of like telling the story, scripting, that kind of way. Now, funny enough, we've just been on a call this morning, haven't we, with a client of ours that we love dearly. And it is like, even now, when video is such a staple in the social media and online world, we're still having conversations with people about how they can just get over their fears around video.
It's the fear of being judged, I guess, isn't it? It's the fear of just getting out there, like, but what will people think? Am I good enough? And it's just a whole insecurity when just get it done. Just trust us.
And it's what was interesting, funny for me was that the client was telling us a story about their client. So like, this was the problem, this is how they solved that problem, but at the same time identified a secondary problem and were able to fix that at the same time, and the client's really happy, and the impact it has on everyone in the business. And this was told to us in a way where it was something really technical, and we both really we understood it, even though it's something that's
understood it from A to Z. Do you know what I mean? I could see, okay, so that happened. Why is my friend ringing me on live lunch? I'm really sorry.
But it's normally me with the phone ringing. But it was delivered really succinctly with the sort of passion and knowledge, and it was personable as well. So you were we were in it's something we don't give two craps about, but we were super engaged as the story was being told. And then I was like, I need you to tell that story. Like, I need you to record that for us as a video.
And you could see
And immediately it was, I'm worried about the perception. I'm worried people won't like my accent. I'm worried people won't understand what I'm telling them. And I'm like, everything you're worried about is like the opposite is true. And that's why I'm asking you to do this video.
Yeah.
Because you are personable. The perception of you whilst you tell this story is fantastic, and I want to get that out there. It's the fact that what did I say to her? It was something like your accent. I can promise you now your accent's not offensive.
Yes.
So but it is. This is the stuff people worry about.
There's insecurities, isn't it?
Yeah, there was someone yesterday, and they were saying in their previous job, they had a lot of media training, and they had to be very, in control, and the way they had to present had to be very measured. And actually, they're a bit of a, I'm going to say they're a bit of a cheeky chappy. That's my impression of this individual. And you could see they would be talking about a really dry subject, but they would be engaging because actually they're the kind of person that will just be in giggles for 5 minutes, and that kind of thing. And you need someone like that to present dry subjects.
100%.
And it's like, but I might not come across very well because I had all this media training. And I just said, we'll create a new set of rules then. So brilliant, you can follow the rules of video, that's proven. So just create a new set of rules. Go and do it. And
just do it. Just do it.
This person's like, oh, you're right, I haven't thought of that. And this is the thing, it's like other people, you know, it's like but the editing, I need to do this, I need to do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you?
Yeah.
Who said? Where's that in the rule book?
Yeah.
You know, now don't get me wrong, like, you know, then your video needs to, we need to be able to see you, we need to be able to hear you, like, you know, there are certain things, absolutely, but it doesn't need to be over edited, polished.
Not if you're just trying to get a message out. If obviously if you're doing, you know, a campaign, spend a bit of time. But if you've got something in your head, or you've come from a meeting and someone said something that actually quite a lot of people talk to you about, just pick up your phone, just walk, talk.
This is the thing. It's like, you know, what do I need? What's the one thing I can do to break the cycle, like break the pattern? And more often than not, that's just all that needs to happen. And have someone that can create a bit of accountability.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you know, the client this morning, we've said, right, every week send us one video.
Yeah.
We can, like, until we get you to a place where you're comfortable on the video, we can just use that anyway. We can write it up, we can take bits, we can listen to it, re-listen to it, so that we can turn that into various posts, etc. I said, but as we do that, we'll coach you. So every video you do will get better and better and better, until the point you'll send us the video and we'll be like, do you know what? We're just going to post this.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like, CapCut, add some captions, put the logo on there, maybe, like, whatever we need to do, or not, just post it as it is.
Yeah.
But let us, like, get into the habit of creating the video, sending it to us. That's step one. And step two, then we can worry about step 3, 4, 5. So sometimes it is like, if you're not working with someone like us, there probably is somebody that you can say, right, I need to start doing videos, I'm going to start recording them, I'm going to send them to you, and I just want your honest feedback on each video.
Yeah. And that's it. And we're not here to go, oh my God, look at that. That's not the point. Like, you know, I love it so much. I'm helping a couple of friends on just their, like, small businesses, their hobbies and stuff. And it's not normal, the buzz that I get when they go, oh, I can't do that, I can't do that. And they do it and they go, oh my God, I'm scared. And they send it and it goes well. And they're just, their face lights up, and like the rush of, sorry about that, the rush of dopamine that I get seeing them, like, I love it. I probably love what I do a bit too much, to be honest.
I don't think we can love it too much. I
could just ramble on about it all day long.
Yeah. Okay, so social media news. I know it's been a bit of a crazy morning because we've had a couple of meetings and that kind of thing. So I don't know if you've even had opportunity to see what's out there and dig anything out that you think's worth talking about.
Oh, what did I see the other day? Meta, you can now send large files via Messenger.
Yes. And albums, right?
And albums, yeah, and HD. Bear with me, caller, because I did have it in my. So, right, hang on. Where are we? Facebook Messenger now lets users create shared albums, send HD photos, and share files up to 100 megabyte in size. And you're going to be able to, because obviously typing Christina Robinson is very hard work. We're now going to have, much like Snapchat, and sorry for the accent, we're going to have QR codes that we can all scan, because we're that lazy now. We can't even be asked to type in names.
QR codes, and I was like, haven't we got that already?
We've got it on WhatsApp. I know we've got it on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
but I'm not
and
sure.
on Instagram as well. So yeah, I was like, I'm sure we had them on Facebook already, but there you go. There we go.
But who is sending files on Facebook Messenger? I get family, friends, stuff like that. But businesses, is Facebook Messenger really?
Actually, do you know what? That I see a lot of posts that are business related, where it's like, because people are trying to avoid putting a link into a post. because they know that it sort of reduces the reach. So they'll do things like, oh, you know, if you want this information, put a whatever in the comments. So people then will comment. Obviously, that's driving engagement. They're then responding, saying, go and check out your DMs. So I can see it as, if you want 25 ideas of things to post, give us a thumbs up in the comments. Then we're responding to those thumbs up saying, check your DMs. And rather than sending them the link, we are sending them the file directly. I can see that being a thing.
How does that work in terms of capturing leads?
I was going to say, however, that kind of, it adds another level before you get to the point where you've captured their data.
Yeah.
So it might be that you might send them a lower value freebie.
Yeah.
But within that freebie, you're then pushing them to, it's within the freebie itself, you're pushing them to a resource where you capture the data.
Gotcha.
Or you send them that freebie and then maybe a couple of days later you message them again, like, you know, how did you find it? You know, what did you find of interest? Was this useful? We've also got, you know, we've got a webinar coming up in a few weeks. Why don't you register for the webinar? Now we've got their data.
Yeah.
So it's just extending that conversation. So I can see, isn't it? Yeah, and things like the photo albums, like sending between, you know, if we got a load of photos from, let's say, Expo, all the photos we took, if people wanted access to those photos so they could use them for their own social media potentially, we could do something like that.
Yeah. Like, I get it. I just, for me personally, I guess Messenger isn't, I just talk to my mates on Messenger. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Whereas obviously a lot of recruiters can just be on Facebook if they're, you know, looking for candidates and stuff. So yeah, just need to switch my brain from talking to my mates to business, I guess. Yeah. It's been a long night.
Like I said, it's knowing your audience, right? Knowing your ideal client, that knowing the avatar and what mindset they're in when they're on that platform.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Your strategy accordingly. Cool. Okay. So I've got some LinkedIn stuff actually this week.
Ooh, go on.
So there are, let me think, what is... Okay, so there is an article that's gone out, and so this is something I was asked yesterday, actually. Like, what's the best type of post to post on LinkedIn? And my answer to that question was, it depends what you want to happen with that post. So, like, if you're just looking for engagement, polls are the best thing to post. But if you, like, I'd say do a poll like a couple of times a month. Like, don't do them every week. Don't do them multiple times a week. Do it like a couple of times a month is good for engagement. If you are trying to drive someone to a landing page, then something like a carousel post, well, I say carousel, like the PDF style posts, they can work really well because you're giving a certain amount of information and a chunky amount of information. But if you want the deep dive, you need to go to this page.
Yeah.
Or, you know, DM me and I'll send you the full report, whatever it might be. But there's a study done by Social Insider, and they've basically looked at a bunch of posts and said, right, you know, what type of post gets the most engagement? What type of post gets shared the most often, and that kind of thing. So I found it really, really interesting, because I would have expected the engagement rate to be higher on those sort of document style posts, but it's actually multiple image posts. So multiple image posts are the ones that that are getting the most engagement. And yet in December, LinkedIn removed, you know, you'd post like 5-6 images and they appear as a carousel.
Yeah.
LinkedIn pulled to that function like back in November, December time. So now if you're posting like loads of images, they end up a bit like all over the place, the way that they're displayed.
And they have like a plus whatever. And I think that's what makes people click, you see. Because
no, this is what I'm saying. That plus thing, that being able to scroll through, that's what's gone. So you end up seeing the images as like tiled, but then bits get cut off and you can't control which image is there, and it just is what it is when it's on the feed. So if I'm doing multiple image posts, I tend to only do 2 images because at least they're side by side. And, you know, when you take a photo, naturally things are more sort of centralized anyway. So when they're side by side, you're not getting the vocal point, if you like, of that image cut off necessarily in the feed. But yeah, like I said, it's multiple images. Multiple image posts are the ones that get the most engagement. And the posts that are being shared the most are your video posts.
So another reason to get video done.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, videos are generating the highest number of shares in terms of like this, what's been shared here. And there's some data, like, you know, brands are posting more now on LinkedIn. I think it's like a 10% increase in terms of how often brands are posting on LinkedIn. So yeah, some interesting stats in there. It is that it's the visuals that work.
Yeah,
you know, it is absolutely the visuals that work. So I think this, you know, it's an important thing to pay attention to. You know,
go on, carry on.
Go on, what are you going to say?
So somebody else is trying to ring me now, so my mind's been completely thrown off. But yeah, I think we're, again, like going back to sort of like the AI and us being a bit lazy, and we don't even want to read much anymore, do we? We want to see the pretty pictures. Our attention is captured by somebody. You know, we see someone in our feed and it's blah, 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 blah. You're like, oh, what's that?
But it's the visuals that get your attention. It's the movement in the video as you're scrolling. That's like, okay, like what's happening there. It's anything that sparks just a little bit of curiosity, basically. So I think there's an argument that this, you know, off the back of that, one of the things I've been thinking about this morning, you know, we create a lot of branded images for our clients, and we're sort of posting one image at a time. So we've got to think about, okay, posting 2 or 3 images to get that additional engagement.
Yeah.
How can we style those posts so that when they're then put together in the feed, we make sure that the key things are visible? So yeah, like I say, that in itself is quite an interesting thing. Who was that? I thought you were on your own.
I was.
You thought you were on your own.
I was, and I am. Just my friend's come to drop something off. And I thought she was just going to drop it inside the front door, but no, came right.
Oh, I love it, love it.
We're here and we're live.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cool. Okay, something for the recruiters. So you know on LinkedIn.
Yes, I do know.
You've got the ID verification now. So like LinkedIn are asking users to upload like basically your passport so that you can prove it is actually you and you are a real person and not a bot scam account. And there's a lot of question at the minute in terms of like, does it actually make a difference whether you do it or not? I don't want to upload that data to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That's my, you know, it's my personal data. Is it necessary for LinkedIn to have it? However, I am now starting to hear, and I think it's been running long enough now for people to sort of see the impact. I'm starting to hear people saying, actually, yes, since they've done it, they're getting more reach on their posts, which is leading to increased engagement. So I am kind of thinking, oh, maybe I should, but I've still got this sort of, what's the word, reticence?
Not in my vocab, babe.
I'm still feeling like I don't want to bloody do it, all right?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, my point for it, touching on that, is LinkedIn is now, if you are using a recruiter license on LinkedIn, those recruiters are going to have the ability to essentially go through a similar exercise to say, like, yes, I am a
confirm their identity,
recruiter. Yeah, confirm their identity, because there are so many scams going around where there are accounts pretending to be recruiters that are then approaching people saying, hey, I've got this vacancy, I think you'd be perfect. I need you to send me this information. And obviously it's personal information.
Yeah.
And then that information is being used for, unsavoury things, let's say.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it as we talk about it. Oh, so you get a little tick, a little verification tick, much like the other one.
That says you're a real life recruiter.
You're good. So the new recruiter verification will be available to recruiters who use LinkedIn Recruiter beginning in mid-April. So it's coming. It's on the way.
It's coming. So like I said, this is the thing. In that situation, I would be, because I know how many scams are around. You know, we know of recruiters where they've had reports from people, someone's pretended to be them and got sensitive information out of a candidate, and basically scammed them. And it's really sad that that's happening in that way. But it's, like I said, this move from LinkedIn is a way to help fight that. And I do hope that recruiters that, on recruiter licenses take that opportunity, because I think it will, having that verification, when we see things like this, whether when you see a blue tick on someone's profile, it creates a perception. You kind of think, oh, you don't think about where that comes from. It just, it does. It brings a layer of trust. So I think that's going to be a good move and a welcomed move as well.
And it says, you were saying about the engagement and things. Verified profiles seeing 60% more profile views, 50% more comments and reactions on their post, and 30% more messages. That's massive. 60%. Wow.
Yeah, I just need to get over this data upload thing.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest,
when it was the same week that I'd got the notification to upload my information, the same week LinkedIn had a data breach. So in my head, those two things are tied together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's it's one of those. I gotta make a decision.
Paul's offered us some valuable comments. Kim, do you often have randoms wandering through your house? Not often enough, Paul, actually. Not often enough. So I just thought
I'd say the answer is yes, isn't it?
Oh, I wish. Thank you.
Cool. I've got one other thing, LinkedIn again, but have you got anything before I get into that?
Oh God, my door's just knocked. I haven't got anything. Do you mind? Oh, yeah. So I'm waiting for a parcel as well. So
go get the door.
Are you sure? Cool. I'll turn my camera off.
I'll hold fort. I'll think of something to talk about. So people tuning in now are going to think, oh, it's just the Christina show. What's going on? Kim has literally, it's live lunch. She's had the green umbrella phone go twice. She's had someone walk in. She's now got a delivery. Paul's in the comments saying, is it Temu? It probably is, knowing Kim. It probably is. Who knows? I'm sure she'll tell us if it is. Or we might have a live unboxing. Who knows?
It's the Boohoo!
Boohoo! And I think it's a shame, because I think yesterday was Wear It Pink Day.
Yeah, it's only the bag that's pink. It's not the actual item itself. The item itself is white. So
okay.
I'm going to an R&B brunch, so I've bought a real ghetto t-shirt because, fake it till you make it, I suppose. I don't know.
Of course you did. Okay, right. So my other bit of LinkedIn news, all good. My other bit of LinkedIn news is, remember we were talking last week, a couple of weeks ago, about the contributor articles.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn, because the contributor articles are having so much traction, LinkedIn have basically said, okay, we need to make it easier for people to find articles they can contribute to.
Yep.
So what they are testing at the minute is, when you go in to create a post,
yeah,
and just under the text area, you've got your options like, do you want to create a poll, upload an image, a document?
Yeah.
There will be essentially a button there where you can, and it will literally, the button will say contribute expertise.
Okay.
And you'll be able to click on that, and LinkedIn will then show you all the articles that you've been selected to as your area of expertise that you can contribute to. So it won't open up everything that's available, just the things that it sees you as being able to contribute to.
Nice.
Which I really love. I'd like, as soon as I sort of read through the article, and the first thing I did was go into LinkedIn to see if I'd got it yet, but I haven't. So I think it is, it is in testing.
If you haven't got it, I definitely haven't got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased that they're trying to find trying to give us an easy way of accessing this stuff. Our people, essentially, these articles, the topic is chosen by AI. It then goes out to me, you, whoever else, to say, right, can you add some comment here? And that builds out the article. So I think people are, in their feeds, they're seeing Christina has contributed to. I think people are probably clicking through to see what I've contributed. I don't know that they're necessarily reading the whole article. I know I don't. I kind of scan through, like, what are the things that the article is covering.
Yeah.
And then if there's one of those things that I think is interesting and there's a few contributions there, I'll go and I'll scan over those, but I'm not really reading the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I think the engagement is good on them, definitely. And I can see how that engagement is working. But I don't think it's something, I don't think people are reading these things head to toe.
Yeah.
But like I said, the fact that they're generated by AI and then LinkedIn is saying, like, yes, this is going to be useful, let's use it. I think if nothing else, like looking at these articles, seeing what those points are, here's an article on X, here's 5 things that you could contribute to. Those 5 things essentially are content prompts for you.
Yeah.
LinkedIn has seen me as, someone that has an opinion within digital marketing. If I'm asked to contribute to that article, if I see those 5 points, there's probably 2 or 3 of those that I can write a blog around, record a video around, whatever it might be. And that can help me generate content going forwards. And especially if it's like one of those points loads of people have contributed to, okay, let's do something with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do see it. I see it as being a really positive thing, not just in being able to share commentary and opinion, but also as part of your content creation.
Exactly. You can, content is everywhere, ladies and gents.
Content is everything. Everything is content. This is one of the things I said yesterday. I was talking to someone. We were talking about engagement, and I said, commenting on other people's posts, that kind of thing. And I said, you've got to remember, every comment you make is content in itself.
Yeah.
Everything is content. Everything. Every email you send is content. Every conversation you have is content. And when we change our mindset around this, when you're then sitting down trying to plan, okay, what is it I'm going to share this week, next week, the next month, 3 months, however you're working, when you've got that kind of sense of everything is content, it makes it much easier to reflect on what you've been doing the last few days, few weeks, and go, okay, these are the conversations that keep coming up. These are the questions I keep getting asked. Let's build something around that.
And that's my favourite thing about when we start working with people and they're like, well, I haven't really got anything. And then, we teach them that mindset and then they come back to us and they're like, oh, no, I've got this, I saw this. And I'm like, yes. Because people see what we see. I mean, I know we're slightly scatty, but we see the world in a very different way to what other people do, I guess, because I'm sat in the coffee shop or whatever and I'm like, hang on, bang, and it's just like, it's annoying at times. My friends are like, will you put your phone away? I'm like, it'll make a great post.
Yeah, saving it for later.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, I think that's probably us about done, unless you've got anything else on your end.
No, not really. My brain's not working today. I tell you what, come back to me next week.
All right.
My kids are back at school, and I'm gonna be on fire. What are you doing next? Is it Tuesday, Wednesday? Haven't you got something?
Oh yes, I'm speaking of HR Technologies. So I will be at Excel. I am speaking on employer brand. And so employer brand is a really interesting topic because a lot of bigger organizations have or should have an employer brand strategy. But a lot of the time that's focused internally. And so I'm going to be talking about how we can use your employer brand, promote your employer brand externally to help you bring the right people into your business, or build a pool of people that go like, oh my God, I'd love to work for that business one day.
Yeah.
You know, and get them engaging with you kind of before the opportunities arrive, so that when you have got that, you know, you want to add that person to your team, or you know, someone's left the business and you want someone new to come in, actually you've got a pool of people that like they can't wait to become part of your organization.
Yeah.
Rather than having to go through the whole recruitment process, or even it's like, you know, you're working with a recruiter and recruiter says, right, we've got this vacancy, it's with this organisation. When you go and look at that organisation and say, do I want to work there or not? What you're seeing tells the right story.
Amazing. I might actually be able to tag along with you.
Yay!
Maybe.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So yeah, so we'll be there, and it's quite a big show. I think there's like 70, 80 exhibitors, and it's part of, so you've got HR Technologies, and it's the first time it's running in the UK. It normally runs in France, I believe.
Oh, wow.
But it's part of a bigger event, which is so Learning Technologies is happening at the same time. So yeah, it can be really, really interesting in terms of like the speakers that are there. You know, there's a lot that's happened in the last couple of years in terms of learning and development. A lot of people running courses, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got our course as well that, you know, we're just putting dates together, aren't we, for the next on that. So actually going to that show and listening to some of the talks in terms of actually like the best practice in terms of delivering training, how the tech can be used to improve that experience, and on that side, and then like I said, the HR element of it, onboarding, all those sorts of things, part of the hiring process. Yeah, I'm quite excited.
And you know, if I do get to make it, do you know what I'm excited for? Not what you think I'm going to say.
As I say, the playlist on the road trip.
That's, you know, we are part-time marketer, part-time international DJs in the car. But going and actually enjoying an event, as in from a visitor perspective, because I love Rec Expo. It's the best couple of days. Knackering, but we have such a great time. But you're like, and we don't get to stop and really, we don't really get to enjoy many of the speakers because we just haven't got the time. So yeah, if I do get to come, I'm looking to be in a visitor and just like be amongst the crowds and actually
absorbing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Cool. Okay, so yeah, Thursday next week we'll be back for the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. More social media news, what's happening, conversations that have been going on, and a bit of a wrap up after the HR Technologies event. So thank you for tuning in today, and we will see you next Thursday at 12 o'clock on the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Bye for now. My button's going ever so slow.
Not going anywhere.